Hello, bonjour, welcome on this 7th episode of Accessible. I am happy today to greet you from the state of Ohio in the magnificent city of Cincinnati, where I am at the moment, and I wanted to welcome Natalia Bertrán for this episode called Globetrotter. With Natalia, we are going to do several parts in this episode because she has so much to share of adventure, as much on a human level as on a traveling level, on tips on how to travel alone as a woman. She has been from Papua New Guinea to Mongolia to Antarctica, but also her recent travel is Pitcairn Island in the Pacific, where she has filmed for us Accessible, where she talks to us, but also with the local that are of the people of Pitcairn Island. It's going to be an amazing, exciting episode that we are proposing you this time. I hope that you will enjoy as much as I enjoy every single bit of her travel, and the travel continues with her. So let's go now with Globetrotter and with Natalia. Thank you.
Good morning, Joyce. Good morning, Accessible. Very happy to be here. The adventure is starting. I'm in San Diego Airport, about to embark this trip to Pitcairn Island in the middle of the Pacific. It's 5 in the morning. As you can probably tell, I'm very sleepy, but very excited to go. I'm taking a flight to LAX, and then from LAX to Papeete, and then I'll be taking another plane to Gambier Islands, and then a 3-day boat trip to get to Pitcairn, this mysterious, interesting island of 47 people living in such a remote place. So I'll be very happy to share my trip with you. Good morning. Here we are at the airport in Papeete. This is my mom, Marta.
Hello, how are you, Joyce, and everybody?
So here we are about to board our plane to Gambier archipelago, a place called Mangareva, where the cargo ship that will take us to Pitcairn is waiting for us. Just arrived in Mangareva. Good morning, Joyce. Here I am in Moorea, in French Polynesia, one day before starting my voyage to Pitcairn. Just my mom and I decided to stop a few days at the Cook Islands and here in French Polynesia, and we're staying in this beautiful hotel, very traditional hotel with the bungalows on top of the water, and this lagoon is very well protected with the coral reefs, and then we have the mountains on the background, and this restaurant, and just very, very nice place. And today is nice and sunny, and we're just enjoying this beautiful place with these nice rooms overlooking the water. Have a nice day, Joyce, and I'll keep posting and sending you more messages. Bye, have a nice day. Here we are aboard the Silver Sea Supporter. We finally arrived. It's actually a very nice boat, and the rooms are pretty comfortable. We're about to leave Mangareva in our 2-day voyage to Pitcairn. And out of the passengers, we already met 3 people from Pitcairn. And apparently there's 40 people living in the island right now. And 3 are here with us. And 1 is a granddaughter of somebody that lives there that is coming back for Christmas. And 2 of the people that are here with us, their last name is Fletcher. So 7th generation descendants from Christian Fletcher. And the boat carries 12 passengers, and there's 8 crew members. I think the captain is from Lithuania and everybody else is from the Philippines. And they have the containers that are going to the island. Here we are in our boat. It's very Christmassy. And this is our room. So open. This is the first time we see it.
Hasta tenemos sala.
Eh?
Tenemos una sala.
Wow. You've got a very nice room.
Mira. Exit for emergency. Use only.
I think they gave us one of the nicer rooms, huh? Mami? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Sí. We have our own bathroom.
See?
It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Hello everyone. This is the 2nd day at sea. I'm a little bit seasick, but nothing too bad. Just trying to rest as much as I can. It's a nice day, but the boat is moving. They say not much, but I feel it quite a bit. Hello, a little shoot. Beautiful afternoon. We've had very good weather. And one more night on the boat before we get to Pitcairn. Hello, the immensity of the ocean is unbelievable. Hello everybody. Good morning. So after 2.5 days of sailing in a bit of bumpy waters, great boat, what I woke up to this morning. Pitcairn Island, finally. Here it is. Such a tiny little mysterious island in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I can't wait to come down and explore. So happy to be here. It has been a pleasure traveling with all of you.
Yes, thank you.
Let's go! Ah, don't leave without us! Bye, Captain! See you later.
Come up for a cup of coffee with the girls.
Yes. Bye. Wow. How many houses are there built in the island, more or less?
There's about 22 occupied houses.
Okay. Wow. 20 years. No, you came back 20 years ago and then you were away for how many years?
No, so we came, both Kerry and I, we're both descended from mutineers and the Bounty, but we are from New Zealand.
Okay.
And Kerry's father was born on the island.
Okay.
And my family line, when the island, everybody moved to Norfolk Island. And my family line stayed on Norfolk Island.
Okay.
And then went to New Zealand.
I see.
And then when we got together, we thought, we'll go back to Pitcairn, see our roots. And we stayed with Stephen Olive.
Yes.
We stayed for 3 months. Then we extended it for a month. And then we quit our jobs.
Oh, wow.
Because really, this was our homeland.
Yeah. So here with Kerry, our host, he's gonna show us around the island. And it's crazy weather today. We have rain and sun and rain and sun. But it's such a nice day. Oh, we have these trees in Mexico.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. In
This is the Norfolk Island pine tree.
Wow! It could be the Mexican North Island pine tree.
And so when the Norfolk Islanders, Norfolk Islanders were once upon a time Pitcairn Islanders, but when there was a centenary, a get-together and celebration, and that was in the 90s, and the group that came over from Norfolk Island to Pitcairn brought the seed with them.
Oh,
and they planted it. So you do. I can't wait to hear from you. But really, yeah. So the east,
Yes.
west,
Yes.
south.
Okay.
So the ridge line you see there,
Yes.
pretty much the other side of that ridge line, it drops away.
Oh.
So really what you're looking at here is
What it is?
the island. Yeah,
Most of the island is in this
and
side.
it's north facing, so it works. And then you go to the right,
Yes.
behind
Yes,
Jaden and Kenny's
yes.
house here up, and you can just see our roof.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you just see the
Yes, I can see it.
see the building?
Yeah.
That's us.
Okay.
Tucked away. Okay, so it's just over the last 20 years that people started building their homes outside of Adamstown. And
So you're moving to the suburbs.
moving to the suburbs. That's right. Well, of course, we had in that time good vehicles. The roads were kept a little better than what they were able to
Yes.
before. So people were then able to slowly move out of town. And of course, before vehicles, people wanted to be as close to the landing as possible.
Of course.
Down
Here in the middle.
there.
Down there. Incredible how high
Yes. How high we are.
we
Yeah,
are.
yeah. So Easter Island is that way.
Okay.
Rapa Nui.
Yeah.
Panama is that the way.
Yeah.
And you can see
Mexico.
Mexico. I say it's all the same vegetation that we have in Cuernavaca.
Yes.
Actually, a little bit of the roof. If you go to the right, you can see your place.
Oh.
You can see your place.
Yeah. Our laundry drying.
Yeah, the laundry's dry.
What a beautiful view.
It's a lot of water.
Yeah, a lot of water. Tiny little rock in the middle of the Pacific. So this is the highest point of the island. We're about almost 400 meters above sea level.
Yeah, absolutely. Straight down, huh?
Even the trees are different.
Yes, of course, of course.
But hopefully this new, I was saying the new family that want to come.
They have
here,
kids?
I think they're coming this coming year. They have kids. Yeah. So maybe it has to be reopened.
Yes.
And yes, if the kids they are of school age, we must give them an education.
Of
So
course, of course. Yeah.
we'll bring a school teacher in from New Zealand, Australia, and we'll reopen the building.
Yes.
And so that the school, and I will show you our health clinic.
Yes.
They are everything and anything that you would need.
It's there.
It is there.
Oh.
That is a well-stocked school.
Yes, yes,
Has
yes.
everything.
Library and everything.
Everything. You name it.
Yeah.
Incredible what we have for just 40 people, as you say.
Yeah. And the clinic is the same. So it has all the x-rays, scanning.
Yes, everything.
Wow.
And the only thing they can't do is surgery.
Yeah.
So
Surgery, you have to go somewhere else.
there.
Oh my goodness, look who we found. This is Mrs. T. The only turtle in the island. This one was brought from the Galapagos Islands. So this is the plant that apparently, that I was mentioning is called rose apple. And it looks more like an apple, but it tastes really like a rose. I've never had anything like this. So if you bite it, there's a seed inside. And it really very, very, like eating a perfume of rose. We're gonna walk down to St. Paul's Pool, which is the only place that you can sometimes swim, but when it's low tide, otherwise it's too dangerous. Bye-bye, Pitcairn. Hello everybody, hello Joyce, hello Accessible. So here I am at Pitcairn. You've probably been following a few of the videos and stories I've been sharing, or I will share. So, but I'm here with my friend, my host, Heather. She's been incredible. We've been staying here, my mother and I, for a few days. And I would like to introduce you to her, and I'm going to ask her a few questions, do a little interview, so that she can share a little bit about her experience and her life here in the island. Heather, thank you.
Hi, Natalia. Thank you for having me. And hello, Joyce, and your viewers. Lovely to see you.
So, Heather, why don't we start, just if you want to tell us a little bit about your story, about, why are you living here, a little bit about your background.
Sure. I'm happy to do that. So my name is Heather Menzies. For those of you who may be familiar with Pitcairn Island, it is the refuge that the Bounty mutineers found after they stole the ship, the Bounty, in the South Pacific. and they found the island and made a home on the island. And the mutineers sailed to Pitcairn Island with a group of Pacific Island companions as well, and some men and some women. And I am a descendant from one of the mutineers, Fletcher Christian, and his Tahitian consort, Maimiti or Moatua, we call her. My partner is Kerry, and he's also descended from Pitcairn Island, another mutineer, Edward Young. And so we have ties back to the island and the story of the mutineers. For us, we are both seventh generation descendants of the Bounty mutineers. So that is kind of the context as to how we came here. And essentially these are our roots. And so we were in a position to be able to come home, and we did that about 20 years ago, and we've been here ever since.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So Heather, can you tell us a little bit about the day-to-day life here, and what are your challenges?
Sure. So day-to-day life here is firstly wonderful. So Pitcairn is a very small island, 1 by 2 miles, and it is subtropical. So the climate is generally very nice, although climate changes, it's affecting the whole of the South Pacific, but the climate is very, very pleasant. We live in a very small community, and so that's also very pleasant as well. It has its challenges being part of a small community. But the lifestyle is very nice, and one is able to be productive and still be part of the workforce. All of us have jobs within the workforce. Some of us wear multiple hats in order to do that because we're so few. Our population is, I think, around 45 at the moment. It fluctuates depending who's on or off island. So it's quite a labour-intensive environment. People are always very busy. For myself and my partner Kerry, we're early risers, so we're usually kind of up by 5 o'clock, which is great. So we're up with the sunrise, and then we pretty much go all day in such a way that you are working for the betterment of the community and also for your own livelihood and lifestyle. So we really like it. Some of the challenges relate to being able to navigate what it's like to live and be part of a small community, and remembering that many, many of us on the island are all descendants from the Bounty mutineers. So we are like a large family, and all families have their differences as well. So you need to be able to navigate, those things as well. But that's the human nature side of things. So it's good.
Yeah. And can you maybe share with us some of the unique traditions that you have here in the island?
Sure. I think, seeing we're doing this interview and it's December, so we're nearing Christmas. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the tradition of Christmas here on the island. And so this is a custom that is really passed down from the Bounty days and the early days. So we have a communal Christmas. So people may do things individually in their own homes, but in terms of the community coming together, we all meet. People go out and they get tree branches and they take them to our public square, and they are installed, the tree branches are, and they're green branches, and these tree branches are all installed in the square. And then each of us go down at any time during the morning, and we take all of our gifts for people, and we hang them on the trees all around. And we also have a Christmas tree there, and so the presents are distributed all around. And generally, how we do Christmas on Pitcairn is, if I was to give you a gift, Natalia, I would just write on my package, "Merry Christmas, Natalia." But I wouldn't say that it was from me, because on Pitcairn, it's about the giving. It's not being acknowledged for the
Beautiful.
giving. And so I think that's these things happen elsewhere in the world, I'm sure, but for us, it's really kind of brings home that the giving of gifts is important, and it doesn't matter what that gift is here, and we're very pragmatic here. So I might give you half a dozen avocado, or it could be something that I have made. It may be something that I have bought, but it's it's about being able to give the gift and not necessarily to be acknowledged for that. And so all of these parcels get put up, all around on the trees, and everybody goes home, and then they come back for us to get together to have a meal. But before we have the meal, we acknowledge one another, and the people who go to the church will do a blessing for the food and so on before we eat.
So Heather, can you share us a little bit about how do you stay connected to the rest of the world?
Sure, I can. So we are very fortunate now, as of around March this year, 2024, we were able to be engaged with SpaceX and Starlink. So we had some direct connection with them through one of our staff in Auckland had reached out and said, are you interested in Pitcairn Island, getting hooked up with Starlink? And so that journey began. And so we have now been active with Starlink on the island since March. We had internet prior to that, but it was a little bit clunky and we didn't have the high speed, etc. So when we moved on to Starlink, it's just been fantastic. I think that you can attest to that as being a recent visitor. And then more recently, and I think for you, Natalia, you were the first group of tourists that came on the Silver Supporter, because we now have Starlink on the Silver Supporter as well. And
it was working incredibly well.
It's incredibly well, yeah. So Starlink and that kind of level of internet connectivity is really a game changer for Pitcairn. So it impacts our ability to engage and integrate with the rest of the world in real time, which is important. But it also goes towards the kind of health and well-being of the community as well. So many of us have family all around the world, of course, and that sort of connectivity means that we can FaceTime, and pretty much we can operate as anybody else in the world does when they are away from family and those kind of things. So the kind of health and well-being side of it is equally as important. Added to that, that enables us to get our banking done and, all those kind of things. Do it online shopping, which of course is important for everybody these days. So all of those kind of things make a real difference for us, yeah.
And when they do online shopping, like through Amazon or whatever, they basically they order and it goes to a place in New Zealand, and every 3 months, the Silver Supporter, the boat that I came with, brings the supplies here. So actually, we brought a lot of stuff up. The people were just ordering, and actually, this beautiful house, where we've been staying, everything came with that ship. So it's unbelievable to see a house like this one and knowing how, everything was brought with that small ship.
That's right. And that's one of the challenges and kind of the fun bits about deciding to live in an environment like Pitcairn is that you are always planning ahead. They're coming up every 3 months. And in order to do something like build a house or make any kind of renovations or planning for our Pitcairn public service, the kind of groceries and things that we need in the store, everybody is working 3 months in advance to make that happen. And we have an office in Auckland, New Zealand as well. We call it the Pitcairn Island office. And we have a financial controller based there. And we have a logistics operation person based there as well. And they're pivotal to our operations. So we, like everything, nobody can do anything here on their own. And so Pitcairn and how we operate is a classic example of what you need to do. A lot of people coming together to make things happen. And then, of course, in Wellington, New Zealand, we have the Governor's Office as well, and the British High Commission in Auckland. So it takes a village, right?
It takes a village.
Even if it's kind of dispersed.
Here you see a very, very clear example of it takes a village. Actually, for example, this house, here is not, if something breaks, you don't call the plumber. Yeah. Everybody is sort of fixing, their things. Would you say that's one of the challenges?
I think it is too. I think you have to lend your hand to whatever is needed to get things done, and that becomes your way of life. But it's not really that unusual to what people were doing a few generations ago, right? Yeah. We still have a level of consumerism. We are part of the world, but we're more inclined to think, I just need to hold on to that because I know that I can recycle or upcycle and I can use it for something else. And so we're very conscious of being able to do that. Yeah.
And how do you see the future of Pitcairn evolving?
Right. Okay, it's an interesting question because, you know, we are so few, our population being so small, our island being so small, excuse me, the fact that we're the only overseas territory in the South Pacific. But the future for Pitcairn is healthy, in fact. So of more recent times, we established our waters around the Pitcairn Islands as a marine protected area. We are the third largest marine protected area in the world. That came about through some foundational work that was done with the Pew Environment Group and National Geographic and the Pitcairn Island community, really coming together and going, what is going on under our waters, you know, what we need to do to ensure that this is maintained in a pristine way. And so the decision was made with the British government to establish the Marine Reserve. And that was in place for some time. And then last year we opened a marine science base, a research base. And that is to, in order to be able to attract scientists from around the world to come to Pitcairn, to be able to make the most of accessing this pristine, wonderful environment. So that is very much part of our blue-green identity, if you like, is very much part of the future of Pitcairn and what we will look like going forward. And it's incredibly important not only to us as Pitcairn Islanders, as custodians of that, but also it has a far more global reach as to be part of wanting to maintain those seas. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to just stress that point about the pureness of the water, of the skies. I've never seen the stars. I mean, I've seen here. Actually, it's one of the best places to do star watching because there's absolutely no light pollution. The waters are pristine. The way the people take care of nature is remarkable. So you have a good feeling for the future for Pitcairn.
Yeah, I think it's positive. We are clearly we're an aging population, and like with many islands across the South Pacific and small communities around the world, is young people grow up, they leave their home environment.
So Heather, can you explain Joyce and her viewers a little bit about your role in the island?
Sure, I can. My role here is, my job title is Travel Coordinator for Pitcairn Islands Tourism. So a little bit of background for that is, Pitcairn is an island in the middle of the South Pacific and has always been part of maritime trade, right back to the early Polynesians, all the way through right up until the Bounty days, and we continue to have a lot of maritime engagement. And there have always been people coming and going from the island, always. So, we have a myth, there's some myths out there about, there's so few people on Pitcairn, and so there must be some kind of inbreeding, and it's just simply not true and has never been true. It's like fake news, right? Because there have always been influxes of people coming and going. So really, about, 15 years ago, we did a restructure of some of our roles and responsibilities here, and a tourism department was kind of developed. And my role in that was to start coordinating that and building relationships internationally and in the South Pacific and so on and so forth. So this has been going on for some time. Today, tourism is pivotal to our local economy. So we generate through our cruise ship industry and visitors to the island, through to our silver supporter visitors that come, like yourself, Natalia, and your mum that have come to stay. That generates about 63 to 64% of our local economy. So it's very important, for Pitcairn and for Pitcairners. It's also very important for building our identity and our reputation in the South Pacific. And we're quite unique in that we're the only British overseas territory in the South Pacific. And so that has a different vibe. We have two languages, which is Pitcairnese, our Pitcairn language, which is a hybrid kind of Creole language. And then everybody else speaks English as well. So we are in the South Pacific. We are very much part with our sister islands, and particularly in French Polynesia. But we are unique in terms of being the only overseas territory.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what would you say to people that want to come here? And I'm sure that's something I'm going to share a lot
Sure.
as well, because I just lived through through that experience.
Yeah.
But what is, if you would like to tell people interested in coming here?
Yeah. I guess the first thing that I will say to that is, I'm going to ask you a question and say,
Yeah.
so how was it for you? Was it, given we are very remote, we're so far away, it's a little bit convoluted. How was the experience for you to get here?
It was incredible. I totally recommend it. Of course, it is. I think the most challenging is just the distance, but I think going through that distance and it's what makes it special too. So just traveling first all the way to Polynesia, to Papeete, then to Gambier, and then taking this 2-day boat trip, the supplier boat. Of course, the sea was rough and it takes a little time. It's not like a cruise line where you have all those commodities but I think we had an incredible experience. And then at the moment we arrived to the island, people were so loving and so caring, and we felt really like arriving to our new family here. And so I completely recommend, and I'll be more than happy to share more stories and to tell them how to go about, because sometimes people don't know how easy it is.
And it is really easy, and thank you for sharing that as well, because my role and what we're wanting to do is to say to people like yourself is that yes, come to Pitcairn and you can do it. It is one of the most remote inhabited islands in the world, and we're open for business. We're open for exploration, and our role is to make that easy and accessible for you to do that. So it kind of fits with Joyce's theme, right? It's about accessibility. So we want to be able to share that. And so we can make this happen quite simply. I'm actually your first point of contact for anybody that's looking to travel. It's very simple for people just to, who are pondering, and just to Google Visit Pitcairn, and you will come up to our website, and that provides you with a whole lot of information. And then the direct point of contact is me.
Yeah.
So
that's where it's great that I'm actually doing the interview with her, because she's your point of contact. And I have to go, it went so smoothly for me the moment I had always sort of dreamt of that little rock in the middle of the Pacific, and I had looked at it in Google Maps, and but when I Googled it and I sort of found out how to get here, the process was very smooth, very professional. So
very straightforward.
Totally recommend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We look small, huh? Against these big boats.
Cuenta, mami, en tu
coming.
cumple, feliz cumple.
Feliz
¿Qué
cumple,
estás
yeah.
haciendo de tu día de cumpleaños?
Subiéndonos a un cruise.
Un barco que está yendo de Nueva Zelanda a Panamá, y nos
Exacto.
invitaron a todos los habitantes de Pitcairn, incluyéndonos a nosotros, a pasar el día ahí, a llevarles comida, atún y banana, comida fresca. Y nos están viendo todos como bichos raros.
Exacto.
Nos saludan. Está tan chistoso todo lo que está pasando.
Se van a dar otra vuelta.
Miren cómo nos ven. La bienvenida que nos dan, y me están saludando como si fuera de Pitcairn. Sí, muy bonito. We're gonna do a picnic here. We're gonna do grilled fish. These women are picking up little shells to sell necklaces. We're gonna go snorkeling. Alors Paul, qu'est-ce qu'on va manger?
Poisson cru au lait de coco.
Oui.
Il y a du carotte, chou, du poivron, tomate.
Mm.
Et puis sur la grille, c'est du tarzan barbecue.
On va voir ça. Poisson. Regardez l'endroit où on est. Look at the place where we are. Own little deserted island. Miren en esta isla, qué raro, estos cocos. Es una variedad de cocos, de palmeras, que dan cocos, pero son palmeras enanas. O sea, en 5 años ya empiezan a dar cocos y no crecen más que esto. O sea, es la primera vez que lo veo. Está muy interesante esta variedad de palmeras. So there's 3 families living in this island. And they have everything they need. And they have the water from the rain, just like in Pitcairn. The solar panels, the little garden where they cultivate the things. And they're not far away from Papeete, from Mangareva, so they can go with the boat to get their things. And the language is completely different to the Tahitian language. This is a man in the house. One of the families that lives here. And they have that incredible church that I showed you before that is just back there. So a really beautiful place. And the sea. This is a vanilla. Apparently it's incredibly good. They cultivate it here. We're gonna go and see.
C'est bien protégé, hein?
Ouais, c'est bien protégé.
Oui.
Ça, c'est protégé pour les insectes.
Oui, bien sûr.
Les insectes.
Comme ça.
Et sur le...
So here I am, part 2 of my adventure. Apparently all flights out of Gambier were cancelled. There's a strike and there's no flights leaving until maybe next week. I'm hoping not. I was supposed to leave today and fly to San Diego tomorrow. So it's been a mess. I'm trying to figure out what to do with my mother, and here I am. I'm gonna be going to the police office. Here are my bags and here in the truck. And this is a beautiful place. It's beautiful, but unfortunately there's no infrastructure. There's only like a small pension hotel. And this is where we're gonna go, and hopefully we're gonna be here just one night, but it doesn't look like that. So anyway, I'm traveling in style, as you can see. Part of the perks of the travel. But this is a very famous place for black oysters, so they get the oysters here and sent to all over the world. So maybe I get to see that. Bye! So hello Joyce! Here's the next chapter on our return. Unfortunately there's a strike with Air Tahiti, so we're stuck in the Gambier Islands trying to see when there's a flight going to Papeete, so we missed our connection to LAX, part of the things of traveling, right? So we're in Mangareva in this archipelago, very very far away, the furthest archipelago from in Polynesia, and it's an interesting place because it's where they make the black pearls, where they cultivate the black pearls. So we're going to visit the factory, one of the factories where they're not the factory, the les fermes, je sais pas, it's like where they cultivate these oysters, and this is where they do them over there. Here they're coming to pick us up to go to the Pearl Island, well, to the where they cultivate the pearls.
On laisse l'enfant un an ici, un vieux enfant. Ensuite, on va les réfléchir, on va les mettre dans Celles-là, elles vont aller dans des poches. Ouais. Donc ça ne sera pas la même distribution parce que ceux-là en fait ce sont des kangaroos de l'école. Donc les récoltes voilà, tu vas passer encore en élevage ou à
A ver, a la boca, sí, que lo remojar aquí. Me dijo que la lavaras. They just explained that the reason the pearls here are such good quality, probably the best in the world, compared to the other islands in Polynesia, is because there's a lot of currents of water here, and the water is a little bit colder than in the other archipelagos. So that's why these pearls are unique here, very, very good quality. But it's a very long process. Very, very time consuming. A lot of labor involved. This is the first pearl that is coming out, and they're going to put the second one. And in between each, they have to wait for 1.5 years. So the whole process takes 5 years. Before it was just little grains of salt. Of sand. But now, since it's like factories, they're mass producing them, so they're already putting exactly the size. What they put back in is exactly the size of the same pearl, so they can produce another pearl again, and they can do this 3 times. So once they take the pearl out and they put the new nucleus inside, they bring them here. They're going to put them in the water again. So it's going to go in the water for 1.5 years. So this girl is preparing them, she's tying them.